What is going on, guys? This is Gainz Gaming. Today we are recapping our KVK in the Mega KVK with 1960, 2489, 1846, 1188, and 1316. This has been a crazy KVK, and obviously we did lose this KVK, as you guys know, but this was a lot of fun, and we're going to be going over all the stats in this KVK, all the kills, all the deads, all the heals, everything. So first of all, let's look at the honor. I know a lot of people care about that. Personally, I really don't. But number one honor is kind of insane. Over 800,000 honor points in 1960 there, which is just crazy. These guys obviously 5 marching the entire KVK. I am almost ranked 200, so, pretty decent there. I've been chaining a little bit more ever since we got knocked out of Kingsland. But when looking at Coalition, we actually are number 1 right now. I'm sure this will go away as, 1960 controlling Kingsland will probably surpass us because they have the higher level barbarians, etc. But currently we are sitting in first place here in 1846. And then in Kingdom Honor Roll, we are number 2. Kingdom 2489 is currently in number 1. And now looking at the individual autarch leaderboard, this I think is fantastic. I am so glad that they added this because I think it just makes it really easy to look at how many kills people are getting, how many heals, how many deads, how people are trading. The one thing I do wish though is that instead of just like making points, I wish these were in kill points. But I know they wanted to get rid of tier 1 through 3 and just have tier 4 and tier 5. And obviously a huge emphasis on T5 kills because it's worth 5 points versus T4 is worth 1 point here. But looking at the top leaderboard in kills, we have number 1 in 1960, 2.8 billion points. This is insane. We will be going over the kill point gain as well later in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We'll kind of scroll through here and show you the top 10. We got Osno here from 1960. You'll see a lot of people that you recognize here, I'm sure. Some of the biggest fighters in this KVK. We'll show the top 25 in each category. Jawas, I actually played with him when I first started the game. I think it was Kingdom 2032 is what I played with him in. I talked to him in a live stream once. That was kind of funny reconnecting with him. Now going over to the dead points, I ranked number 381, by the way, not to toot my own horn. Obviously, I am a very small fish in this huge ocean here in this KVK. But going on to death points, I am ranked 533. Bakot, 184 million points, which is just absurd. Same amount of tier points here, 5 for T5 units, 1 for tier 4. Some crazy amounts of power being lost in this KVK as well, with obviously, you have some pretty insane mega whales that are just mass filling everything. I'll show the overall leaderboard right now of what we have in terms of power, kill points, alliance kill points, everything like that after going over this. Now going over heal points, I was ranked 415. So I traded pretty, well, not really super positive. I actually barely over, but 242 million points for me. We have our top ranks here, 2.6 billion. The amount of healing speed ups and resources spent for these players, I cannot even fathom because this was so expensive for me. I cannot even imagine how many resources and speed ups these players used, which makes me just question how on earth is that humanly possible. Like, I don't understand how people have that many speed ups and resources to use. Obviously, there's some practices going on in these kind of KVKs that are against terms and conditions, but we don't talk about that. When we look at my Hall of Heroes, I did already kill off a bunch of my siege for the speed ups. I can't remember how many speed ups I got, but I got a decent amount for this. But my actual deads are obviously the T5. I finished just around 1 million T5 and T4 deads. And then looking at the resources spent, 31 billion resources essentially. We had 10.4 billion food, 7.95 billion wood, just over 6 billion stone, and 6.5 billion gold spent in this KVK. Now I'm so glad they added this 10% return for players in this KVK. So I'll be getting these resources back at the end of KVK. And I thought I remember seeing that, yeah, so if you do not acquire an autarch testimony, you'll receive an extra 5% of the resources. So I don't know if I'll be getting one. I highly doubt it, honestly. But if I don't get one, I'll be getting an extra 5% of resources back, which is a pretty big amount for me. But I'm so glad they added this, not only for tracking references, or just like how much resources have I spent, but also just giving us resources back. I think that is a very, very good thing. I think the next step would be adding the speed ups that you spent in the KVK. I think that'd be really, really nice. Looking over my items here, I did not dig into my bag in terms of resources, but in terms of speed ups, we definitely use a lot of speed ups. The one nice thing about being in a higher spending kingdom is that you're getting a lot of speed ups as well. I have been chaining obviously too, but we did start the KVK at about 1800 speed ups, and the entire KVK of opening chest, chaining, all those things adding up, we are still at about 1500 days. I would assume, we might be able to tell later on in the KVK when we get, like the story mode of that, but we spent probably around 500 to 600, maybe 700 days of speed ups in this KVK, including the healing and the universal speed ups. Obviously, I'm not including training or research because I use plenty of those, but those don't really count toward fighting. But used a lot of speed ups, used a lot of resources in this KVK. I am very worried about my gold. I am pretty much just only gathering gold on my farm accounts right now because it's like, holy crap, I used so much gold in this KVK. It is just absurd. But let's take a look at the overall rankings here too. So if you take a look at alliance power, we have 1960. These do look like they're moved around a little bit. We have 60 AE in number 1. Did they change this from 60 GT? I am kind of confused here. Where is 60 GT? Unless they just have stuff moved around. Yeah, they must have stuff moved around. I don't really know. But looking at the top kingdom powers, so 19.3 billion power in 1960, 1188, 16.8 billion power, 2489 with 14.1, and then 1846 with 12.9. And then if we find 1316, they looked like to be pretty dispersed as well. I'm sure a lot of them are in 1188 and 1960 for rewards and such. And then looking at alliance kills, similarly here, things are moved around, but 3.6 trillion for 1960, 2.6 trillion for 2489, 2.2 trillion for 1188, 1.7 trillion for 1846, and then the remaining as well. Now looking at individual power and individual kills, I am rank 432 in individual power. Obviously we'll be getting some back, but looking at the top power, it's just crazy looking at the amount of power that is in this KVK. This is obviously after KVK, so this is after people have killed off a lot of troops. I actually want to see where 100 million power is in this because that is crazy. So looking at this, 231 players over 100 million power, which is just insane. Now, the thing that's even more insane is the individual kills. So I'm ranked 490 with 8.4 billion kill points. We got Osno here with 88 billion kill points. We have Arvix with 76 billion kill points. Ahmad Aziz with 74 billion kill points. It is just insane how many kills we have here. Makode, huge congrats. He hit 60 billion kill points as KVK. That is insane. It's just crazy looking at how many kills these players have. It's like when you think about somebody with 40 billion kill points and you're like, oh, they 100% be number 1. It's like, nope, rank 37. That's just insane. I want to see where 20 billion kill points is because that's pretty similar to 100 million. So we have, what is this? 180 players with 20 billion kill points in this KVK. And with me, 8.4, obviously it's a decent amount of kill points. It's not an insane amount, but it's still a good amount of kill points. That's a respectable amount of kill points to have on your account. And that's almost rank 500 in this KVK. So it's insane how much money, how much power, how much, just insane accounts are in this KVK. It's just really, really crazy, to be honest. So I promised we'd go over the kill point gain here as well. So that's what we'll do here next. We have the number 1 player in 1960 with 11.4 billion kill points gained. That is just unheard of. So let's look at how many players have more kill points gained in this KVK than I do in my entire account. And that is going to be 6 players. Jack, 8.8 billion kill points. Everybody above this has more kill points in this KVK than I do on my entire account. And honestly, this account right here is probably the oldest account number I have ever seen. 202122. Now what I want to do is just look through like the top 50 here and just kind of show you guys what the kill points actually look like, and then we'll take a look at kingdom by kingdom as well. If you guys are on this list, make sure you comment down below, because I want to see who's all in here. Obviously, we looked at the top 25 in the autark rewards, but looking through the top 50 will give a little bit more representation. I honestly think it's just crazy. Almost top 50 is 4 billion kill points gained. It looks like here's our first 1846. We got Fred with just under 4 billion kill points. Like I said, we'll take a look at camp through camp as well. We got Bancoon here, 3.5 billion. You know, it's just Mako here, 3.4 billion. We'll take a look at the top 100 actually, just to, because this is just insane. So let's see where 3 billion is. We have 84 players that had over 3 billion kill points gained. I think I was around just over 1 billion kill points. So here's rank 100, 2.64 billion kill points gained in this KVK for the rank 100 player. Now let's first take a look at 1960. Obviously they are in a camp by themselves, but let's take a look at the top 50 in each camp and kind of see where everybody lies, because, you know, obviously I think 1960 gained the most amount of kill points in this KVK, because they have the best fighters. They're the best kingdom in the game. I think that's objective truth. We got number 50 with just about 2.3 billion kill points. That's just really, really crazy. Now here is the water camp. We have 1316 and 1188. This camp is just so powerful. It's insanely powerful. I don't know what it is about water camp and Lilith, but they make water camp so strong. We have some pretty crazy fighters here in this camp. You know, playing against them basically 1v2 was a very tough matchup. I cannot explain how difficult it was to play against them. They are mostly max tech players, which obviously makes it really difficult. So their number 50 player was just under 1.5 billion kill points, and their top ranks are right up there with 1960. So it's pretty insane. Now we will go over our camp here, which is 1846 and 1262. We'll have to see how many 1262s we see on this top 50. I'll be impressed if we see a couple. Our top ranks just under 4 billion kill points and 3.5 billion kill points. I don't think I'll be on this top 50 list, but I do want to see if we have any 1262s on this list. I'm not seeing any yet. We got our King Raw ability here. We don't have any 1262s in this list, at least not that I saw. Nope. Nothing on here. We'll have to find my rank. I'm interested to see where I'm ranked up. I think it's like 1.06 or something like that. I can't really remember. But we'll take a look at 2489 here first. Here, 10.5 billion gained for Genie. That's insane. Again, we'll take a look at the top 50 here. 2049 obviously by themselves, facing pretty much entirely 1960. So rank 50 here is 2.385 billion kill points. You know, they had a very tough matchup. I think they obviously were fighting the best kingdom in the game, in my opinion. It's a pretty tough matchup to have, and you know, they fought their hardest. But I want to see if I can find myself on this list and see where I ranked up. See if I can just search myself maybe. We got Gainz Gaming 8 that reinforced a couple things, 68,000 kill points. I didn't really use farm accounts, but I was using this to look at markers, and I was like, I can just toss this into a pass and get some reports. So I was able to do that a couple of times. And then my actual account, Gainz Gaming, 82 million power, 1.056 billion kill points gained. Like I said, this was the most expensive KVK I have ever played in. It was extremely draining. We'll come back into game here. I was really hoping to get a lot more kill points than I did. I wanted to hit 9 or 10 was kind of my goal. I started obviously about 7.4 billion kill points, and I think hitting 9 would have been a pretty big milestone for me. You know, basically getting 1.6 billion kill points in the KVK, which I thought was doable, but obviously Kingsland did not last very long, and that's where I wanted to get most of my kills, because I got about 500 million in the first zone against 1188 and 1316, which I spent about 20 billion kill points in. And then obviously the ruins, you don't really get a whole lot of fighting, because one, they last 2 hours really at the most, but then also you can only have one march, and you know, if you get melted, you basically die. So and you don't get any kills for it. So you really have to get pretty much all your kills in the zone 5 and then Kingsland. That's where most of the fighting happens in this KVK. Obviously, we did have some at the pass, but you know, the 1960 and 2489 side, they had basically 24/7 fighting at this pass. Like 1960 was over here fighting pretty much 24/7 the entire time. They were over here fighting outside of their pass. On our side, we really didn't have that. They pushed out a couple times, but for the most part, they stayed behind their pass and they just stayed right here and hit people, used AoE because we were hugging the pass. And like people, myself included, were like, just back up and make them come out and fight us, because we were winning every single time they came out. And you know, we were winning the pass rally, and then like it was like we were trading well, but you know, it's not a whole lot of field fighting. And so anyone that wasn't reinforcing rallies, which we were supposed to be using farm accounts for that, we weren't really getting any kills. We weren't getting deads. It was, you know, kind of just to sit there and watch the field and let your expansion run out. So that was kind of frustrating. And then obviously Kingsland was short-lived. I had a family emergency I had to attend to, and so I was able to play for about 6 hours streaming, and then came back home that following night, and we were already retreating out of Kingsland. So I was able to get a little bit more fighting in Kingsland, you know, some city popping, stuff like that, just basically being a nuisance. But then obviously we were kicked out of Kingsland, pulled out pretty quickly, and the KVK was over. And so ended a lot faster than we wanted it to. A lot of people said we lasted longer than they expected us to, which obviously is good. And from what I'm hearing, we're going to have a pretty good migration into 1846. But I'm excited to see the future for 1846 and see what we go into next. I'm hoping we don't go into another insane KVK like this in the first pop, because I am not ready for that. I do not have the resources for that. So that'd be my only concern. I hope if we do go into another big KVK like this, that we wait maybe 2 pops for that, because that way I can actually get adequate amount of resources for myself to use. Because obviously this KVK, for 1 billion kill points, I use 6 billion gold, and that is extremely expensive, and I do not have 6 billion gold. Even if I empty my bag, I still do not have 6 billion gold. So I definitely need to get on my farms and start farming gold more, and make sure I'm ready for the future KVKs, because obviously we want the good KVKs. I want the good KVKs for both fighting and for content, because obviously that's a lot more enjoyable to watch for you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe. I will be making a video as well detailing my kills per commander. I do that every KVK. A lot of people like to watch that, and I like making it, so make sure you stay tuned for that video coming here shortly as well. It was a good first KVK here in 1846. I'm looking forward to the future. But thank you guys for checking out the video. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.